I don't care. Isn't that what everybody's saying these days? I mean, everywhere you look, people are saying, I've stopped caring. I don't care anymore. But is it really good or is it bad? So today, I thought we'd have some tea and talk about it. My name is Marie, and welcome to Pinebrook Homestead. I am a wife, mother of 4 boys. 2 are grown and married, and 2 still in high school, with 1 graduating this May. I also have 2 grandchildren, with another one on the way. We live on half an acre in the suburbs with 2 distinct garden areas, and we are adding a 3rd garden this spring. We are busy just like you. So thank you for spending some of your busy day with me. I cannot wait to chat. So welcome to my table. Today's tea is a green tea zen that has a little bit of spearmint and lemongrass in it. And I thought I'd share it with you. Everywhere I look in YouTube and Instagram and Facebook, that's the new proclamation is I don't care. And I started to really think about it this weekend because I spent some time with my grandchildren and I thought, what kind of world are we leaving or teaching our kids when we proclaim, I don't care? You know, it's an awfully negative thing to say. And I guess if you repeat it over and over and over and over, well, we're filling our minds with that negativity. But is it good or is it bad? I have 2 sides to it that I thought I'd share with you today. So the first part is I think it's negative. I think it's negative to absolutely say, I don't care. And it doesn't matter if it is, I don't care what's going on in the world. I don't care what's going on with my neighbor. I don't care what's going on at my workplace. I don't care. I don't care what anybody thinks of me. I don't care. And it just seems like that statement is such a definitive, almost wall building statement to surround yourself with that fortress. And deep down inside, I still think you do care. I just think that maybe somebody hurt you. Maybe it's the insecurities of the situation. Um, I just, I find it hard to believe, although when you look around this world, there sure are a lot of people not caring, whether they throw their trash out the window or whether it's they cut you off because they're in such a hurry. I also think stating, I don't care, can be somewhat self centered. So I don't care about you because I only care about me. Well, that's not kind either. And maybe people have put up the front and started building that wall because maybe judgment was placed on them. And the only way that they can deal with the judgment is to say, okay, I just don't care. I don't care anymore. But don't you think that in our world today, that not caring is a part of some of the issues, maybe? Because no matter what somebody says, there's always an opinion. And it seems like today, if your opinion doesn't match my opinion, well, then I'm offended and I cut you out of my life. Like there is so much hatred and division. And I question if this whole I don't care movement is instigating even more division, or even just, and I don't want to say it's hatred towards the other person, but the Bible tells us to love our neighbor as we do ourselves. So where does this all fit in? I really have a hard time believing, especially when I read through scripture, that this is something that God wants for us. I don't think he does. Now, what are some things that putting this I don't care statement out can do? Well, I think it can leave you lonely. I mean, if you don't care about anybody or anything, then what are you doing? What do you do with your life? Do you just walk through life, in a sense, in a robotic way? I find it hard to believe that people are just ditching their feelings. I really do. Cheers to the tea. I find it hard to believe that people are just ditching their feelings. I think maybe they're turning inward because of all the hurt, that maybe they've experienced, or the hardships. Um, I don't know. Type it in the comments below. Share with me your feelings on this new phenomenon of I just don't care. I don't care about anything. And let me know, because I've got some things that potentially could be strengths for not caring. So let me know, is this a good thing, or do you think this is a bad thing? And if you are not in the United States, do you see this phenomenon where you live? Put it in the comments below. I would be interested to see what everyone's thoughts are on this. Because again, to leave an uncaring world to our children, I don't know that that's good. What are we teaching them? Not to care? So, another negative thing about not caring is it reduces your motivation. If you don't care about anything, well, what are you motivated to do? Our younger generations, and I have heard, from some of the younger generations who have said that why should they care about their jobs? Because the cost of living is so much that they don't feel like they can ever get ahead. So they're not caring. That can be one. I mean, I feel bad for the younger generations for that, you know? And I know the American dream is all about, get your home, own your home, do all of this. But some of these young people can't even afford to move out and get an apartment because it's too high. And the jobs, they're not paying well. I mean, some are, but a lot of them aren't, not for the inflation that we've had to deal with. So, how do they pay for their apartment and buy food, which is astronomical and through the roof? And so they just come up with this I don't care mentality. It bothers me. And it is something that is really starting to bother me. And I'm seeing it from all sorts of YouTubers, all sorts of ages. And it saddens me. I guess that's the biggest thing. It saddens me. And then I get concerned about what we're teaching our younger generations and our grandchildren to just not care. So, what's another negative thing? Well, like I said, it sounds pretty self centered. really sounds self-centered. Um, but it's also a way of detaching emotionally. Now, I am not a huge feelings person. I tend to fly by the seat of my pants. And I don't plan and I I mean, I plan, but I don't sit and research and plan before I decide to do something. I say, "Oh, that's a great idea. Let's go do it." That's gets me in trouble sometimes. I'm telling you, it really does. But um, that's kind of how I operate, by the seat of my pants. And I find that life is exciting that way. It can be frustrating, um, because I tend to tack on more on my to do list, which I am going to have a confession for you about what should have been Friday's video, which turned into Saturday's video. But I will share that with you at the end of this video. Oh, what a story. Anyways, that emotional detachment, you've got one side of the spectrum where everybody feels everything. And then you've got the other side of the spectrum that nobody wants to feel anything and they just don't care. Where is there that happy medium where, yes, we can respect feelings of others and our own feelings, but to just not care about something, it stumps me. It absolutely stumps me. Leave it in the comments below. What do you guys think about this? Um, yeah, it just stumps me. So, another one that's negative on this is it makes you look callous, indifferent, or unempathetic. And I see a lot of that around the world these days. I really, really do. And it saddens me. When I was growing up, it wasn't like that in my neighborhood. So, in the beginning, before my parents divorced, I grew up on 17 acres with a creek and a river. And that property, by far, just, I fell in love with nature on that property. My parents divorced, and then I moved to a suburb. But I do remember in that suburb, everybody kind of watched out for everybody else's kids. We were all playing outside, we were all riding our bikes, everybody knew everybody, and not in a bad way. There was respect for your neighbor's property and for your property. Um, so it wasn't a bad thing. But, I remember waving to so and so's mom. I remember one year my best friend and we walked around and caroled to all the neighbors, and they gave us all this money and cookies and candies and all that kind of stuff. And I don't see anything like that anymore, and it's sad. My granddaughter and grandson, they are growing up on acreage in the woods. And when I go out there and babysit them, it is such a peaceful, peaceful place. Um, and I just want to leave a better world for them. I really, really do. Even my teenagers, they do, they have hearts of gold and they will help somebody um, any chance they can. And, at home, they're teenagers, but to their friends or their friends' parents or anything like that, they're very, very kind young men. We have always instilled kindness, and we do not believe that chivalry is dead. They open the doors for me, those types of things. But I don't see that anymore. People don't care if they cut you off. People don't care if they leave the door open for you or hold the door open for you or bolt right past you because you might be a little bit slower than they are. I just don't see the kindness anymore. And I think it might be part of this I don't care mentality. Anyways, are there any positives on the I don't care mentality? Well, some of the positives, I do have my notes. I jotted a few notes down because I looked this up. I wanted to see the statistics on this and if it was just me. And no, there are articles all over the place. Everybody's opinion on I don't care. There's some that say this is a mental health issue, and there are some that say there are strengths to it. So here's the strengths that I found out. One is it frees you to be your authentic self. So if you don't care what other people think of you, then, or how you dress, or what you wear, or how you look, or anything like that, then you're freeing up your ability to be your authentic self. Okay, I can view that as a strength. Um, but I don't necessarily like the whole condemnation of I don't care. I'm going to be myself. I think we need to be ourselves anyways. And I think caring about what people think, I mean, if you go on a job interview, they're judging you, even though God tells us in the Bible, do not judge. That's not for us to do. That's for God to do. But they're judging you at a job interview. So there comes some pride, taking pride in yourself, in your appearance. And I'm not saying that you have to be all dolled up but being your authentic self and taking pride in how you look. When I was working, there were some interviewees that I could not believe how they came in. Um, they they didn't care, and I know they didn't care. But in a professional world, you kind of have to care a little bit. So, but a strength is to being free to be your authentic self. Another one that's a strength is self acceptance. Well, I think, yes, we need to accept ourselves, but maybe in a way of saying, you know what? God made me. God had this perfect plan for me, and I'm going to accept who I am without worrying about what others think. Not necessarily, I don't care. It's so negative sometimes. I'm still interested in what you all think. Leave it in the comments below because I'm struggling with this one. And I actually weighed out, do I talk about this or not? And I kind of had to. Kind of had to. I'm curious. I'm curious from all of you. What do you think? Okay, so they say that another strength is if you don't care, it reduces anxiety or stress. All right. Well, I think there's a lot more in this world to cause stress and anxiety about than coming off aloof and callous to not caring. Maybe if people did care more, maybe it wouldn't be so stressful. I don't know. I don't know. Let me know what you think. They also say that not caring gives you clarity or focus. I didn't quite get this one. So if you don't care about something, that gives you clarity and focus on what you don't care about, or does it free your mind so that you have clarity and focus on what you do care about? I don't know. I found that interesting. They also say not caring gives you inner peace. Hmm. I would kind of have to disagree with this one. My inner peace comes from knowing that I am a child of God and His blessings and His living word, and that's what I focus on. I think maybe this world went through a shift, and I don't know. It seems as though it all happened after the pandemic. Anybody else agree? Give me a like. Hit the like button if you feel that the world started to really dive bomb after the pandemic. Back then, and maybe that's where all the hurt. I remember hearing all the stories about the nursing homes and how family members could not go visit and they were losing family members and they couldn't say goodbye. Is that where we got it? Is that when this I don't care started? I don't know. I just don't think that it's a strong message to give our children. I really don't. I think we need to show them that caring it is still good. It is still good to care about something or someone and even yourself. So I'm not sure that it gives uh, inner peace. I know my inner peace comes from the Lord. So they do say in the realm of not caring that there's context to it. So maybe I don't care if my neighbor puts up a fence. Maybe that kind of context. Um, I don't care if I take care of myself. I don't know. I'm sorry, it flabbergasted me. This is one of those conversations that I'm really looking forward to the comments and what you all think about this whole I don't care phenomenon. Here's my point. I put up these videos and some flop and some do well. And that's just the name of the business, right? But I still care that if one doesn't do as well, and I do pray that the message goes to the people who need it most. Um, at that point, I just say, okay, on to the next, on to the next, on to the next. I think this world might be a little bit better if we turned inward and we cared again. I really do. Um, Care for our neighbors, care for a stranger, hold the door open for them, be a little kinder on the street. I don't know. I really think this world would be a little bit better if we just cared. I have a devotional for you today, and I thought it was fitting for this one. And then I want to share with you what happened to Friday's video. It's quite comical. Yes. So hold on a second. So I promised you at the end of the video, and I'm almost done. I want to share this story with you, and then I have a devotion for us for Monday Reset to maybe kick off your week with good vibes, good vibes. Little scripture here. But anyways, let me share this story with you. So Friday, I had these grand ideas for this video, and boy, that video was a long one. It gets better. I have two editing software that I use. One is CapCut and the other is DaVinci Resolve. DaVinci Resolve, I know, but I don't know as well as CapCut. But I get a lot of comments about the darkness. And when I'm in the kitchen on DaVinci Resolve, I can lighten it. Okay, so we chose DaVinci Resolve. I started editing that video at 2:00. I still had a lot to film. So I start editing at 2:00. I literally stopped. My husband came home from work. He cooked dinner. I literally stopped at like 7:30 to eat. And then I went right back to it. Here I am on this video telling everybody, get your sleep, get your sleep. At 2 a.m. in the morning, I am on my phone typing in how do you voice over on DaVinci Resolve in YouTube. At 3 a.m., I'm doing the voiceovers. So if I sounded tired, oh my gosh, I was exhausted. At that point, I had been up for 22 hours, but I was so determined to get that video done and put up there. I felt so bad that I didn't have it done on Friday for you. And I know I can't do that. I literally went to bed. No kidding, no joke. I went to bed at 4:41 Saturday morning and 4 minutes before my husband's alarm clock went off. My head hit that pillow. I was out. I was so tired. And then what did that do to my Saturday? Totally messed it up. I didn't get out of bed till close to 11:30. It was awful. It was awful. So I apologize, but I was so determined and I did not want to lose faith of my loyal subscribers. And I wanted to get that video up. It was so important to me to help others who are experiencing midlife exhaustion. You want to talk about exhausted? That was Saturday for me. I got nothing done. Oh, I did do bathrooms. I cleaned bathrooms that day. That was it. That was all I did. I was toast. Let me tell you, at 53, your body does not recover the same way as maybe when you were in your 20s. So I know what I'm going to be doing going forward, and I will be filming for those longer videos all through the week. And then I'll be able to get my video up on Friday. I just want to thank all of you who watched the video and maybe wondered, why does she sound off? That's because I was doing the voiceover, trying to read the voiceover at 3 a.m. Kind of crazy. What we do for what we love, right? Speaking of love, oh, a bird just flew right through the window or right by the window. Here is my devotion today. So when we sit there and we think, I don't care, maybe we should turn it and think more about love. So we are in First Corinthians. I love First Corinthians. First Corinthians 13:4. This is one of my favorites. Love is patient. Love is kind. It does not envy. It does not boast. It is not proud. It is not rude. It is not self seeking. It is not easily angered. It keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, and always perseveres. Love never fails. I hope you all have a great Monday. Leave in the comments, what do you think about this phenomenon? And if you like this video or any of my past, would you give us a like button? I wish all of you a fabulous, fabulous week filled with many blessings. And if you would like to visit with us again, we do Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Please hit that subscribe button. I'd love to have you join us. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful week, and I'll see you on Wednesday. Bye-bye.